given that you are already county exec, let me ask you a question I won't have for Carl, which is, how has the 4 years that you've been county exec sort of better prepared you now for your next, potentially your next term? What do you know now that you didn't know 4 years ago?
Well, I certainly just having developed the relationships that I've developed with the legislature, we've had a pretty good working relationship over the last 3.5 years. They're, the majority is a different party than the party that I'm in, but we've really been able to put aside those differences, and we did that by just, over time, we've been able to develop a really good working relationship with them, and I think that's really important. I think, the legislature and the county executive have to work really well together. We've done that over the last 3.5 years. We've gotten a lot of things done. Whether it's getting a new workforce development center, bringing new treatment to Broome County, fixing our finances, delivering, what should be now our third consecutive tax cut, and many, many other things. And that is really having a good relationship with between the legislature and the county executive is crucial to be able, to get anything done these days.
Now, you had served on the legislature yourself, so obviously you had a certain level of familiarity with county government, but now obviously you work directly with all the various department heads.
Right.
Again, how has that perhaps changed your perspective on, let's just say, the importance of county government?
Certainly being a county legislator for a little less than 9 years was helpful in me knowing a little bit about county government, but having that working with department heads every day, working with our 35, 40 department heads every day, 10 hours a day, really getting into it as a full-time job has been incredibly helpful, and just having that experience and working with the department heads, and not just the department heads, but with all the other community stakeholders too, our nonprofit organizations, our businesses, state leaders, and many other local leaders. One of the things that we've really made an effort to do is get out to all the different towns and villages in Broome County and really give everybody an equal focus, and not just say, well, we're going to pick one area and help that. We've really been able to get out throughout all Broome County and meet with all the the local elected officials, whether they're from Windsor or Deposit or anywhere in between, like at Whitney Point or anything. So we think that that's really important to develop those partnerships and be able to work with them to get things done out in those communities as well.
All right, so what do you see as the major issues in this campaign?
Well, I don't think that there's one major issue, but if I was to boil it down to saying what is the one major issue, I'd say the ability to get things done. And we've completed over 100 initiatives my first term in office, and it was because we just roll up our sleeves. We worked really hard. We had a good relationship with the legislature. We went out to the community. I go out to a lot of events. We talk to people and try to learn what people need in their different communities, and we work to get it done, and I think the results speak for themselves. I mean, we've been able to do a lot of different types of projects that are benefiting Broome County right now, that will benefit Broome County, and I think I'm uniquely positioned to do that. I've got those relationships with people, and I work very hard. And whether I wake up in the morning trying to figure out how to make Broome County a better place, and I go to bed thinking about what I can do the next day to make Broome County a better place to live in.
Obviously, I have to ask about the county's response to the coronavirus. How do you feel the county has performed during this pandemic?
I think that the county has performed great. The county was. This is something you don't have a playbook for. This is something that you hope that you've got department heads that are great department heads that are going to help you lead through this very difficult time. And I put in department heads in the beginning of my administration that some of them weren't even in my political party, and it really didn't matter to me. I wanted the best people for the job. So when we hit this pandemic, I had great department heads like Mike Panicello I put in, Rebecca Kaufman I put in, Office of Emergency Services Director, the Health Director. Those two departments have really led this pandemic. They were responsible for our county being the first county to reopen during all the different phases, and they're doing things just like a couple weeks ago. They worked together to put that rapid mobile testing site in the county that's going to be really helpful in preventing the further spread and identifying people who have symptoms and getting them into quarantine, and just one of many things that they've been able to do. We've really been able to do with all of our department heads to really work to do everything we can to prevent the spread, to save lives, and also reopen our economy.
Every election for almost any elected position always brings up the issue of how much do you tax, how much do you spend? What are your expenses, what are your revenues? What are you looking toward in the next 4 years? You mentioned you've been able to cut taxes. Is that something you once, obviously we're stuck in this pandemic,
Sure.
so it's really hard to, I suppose, envision, but what would your hope be in the coming term if you were reelected?
Well, financially, I want to do what we've been able to do for the first 4 years. I mean, the county was getting on the most fiscally stressed list for years and years and years. We finally got off that list. The county had almost no fund balance when I came in. We built that up to a $15 million fund balance. That was for a rainy day. We got a hurricane in this pandemic, and a lot of that fund balance will be used for that. But I mean, it just goes to show you why we need a fund balance. But over the next 4 years, we'll continue to do what we did the first 4 years. We'll build up the fund balance, continue to produce responsible budgets that work for the taxpayers. We'll continue to hold the line on taxes and cut taxes. I think that maybe because I'm a Democrat, people maybe we're a little skeptical, perhaps, that I would have been able to come in and build up the fund balance, cut taxes, and get our financial ship going the right way. But I think at the local level, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. I think it just matters your ability to work with people and get good department heads in there that know what they're doing and work very hard every day. And I think the results speak for themselves.
All right, some just general questions now that I tend to ask most candidates. What sort of skills do you possess that you think make you good for this line of work?
I think the one thing that stands, listen, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. We're all human beings, but I think the one thing that I think that has helped me lead Broome County is the ability to work with a lot of different people. Whether it's at the federal level, to the state level, the local level, I have good relationships with a lot of people, and I don't look at people as Republicans. I don't look at people as Democrats. I just try to meet you as you are, and and my thing is, look, when I see you at church, I don't see you as a Republican or Democrat. I just see you as someone who goes to my church. If I see you at my kids' practice, I don't see you as a Republican or Democrat. You're just, a parent like me. When I see people in the community, I don't look at them like they have a label on themselves. I just look at them as Broome County residents and people who want to make this place a better place to live in. And I think that kind of attitude has been able to help me develop relationships that have gotten so much done in the last 3.5 years.
Why do you want to be county executive, especially given this past year?
Yeah. Because I love my community. This is a wonderful place to live, work, raise kids. I got 3 kids. I love it here, and I just want to make it a better place to live. That's why I decided to run 4 years ago, and that's why I want to run this year, because we were able to do a lot over the last 3.5 years. And I want to do a lot more because, Broome County is a great place to live in, and I just want to make it better.
And now, this is your most basic question, but I tend to wrap up with this one. Why should people vote for you?
I think the results speak for themselves. I mean, we have been able to do a ton of things to make this community a better place to live in. Whether it's bringing a new workforce development center to help connect people to the jobs in this area, to help train people for jobs. Heroin epidemic has been a big issue in Broome County. We secured a 50-bed treatment center. Finances were a big issue. We worked through that. We've been able to hold the line on taxes, 3 property tax cuts. We have worked with Republicans and Democrats across the aisle, and we work hard every day to do the right thing for Broome County. And I would, I'm asking people for their vote, and people trusted me 4 years ago to do the things that I said I was going to do. I did them, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years.